Hey everyone, it's Jo Carter here. Welcome to another book haul of mine. I have actually been to my local book fair today. It happens every 6 months in support of Rotary, and even though I'm living in a small country town in Australia and New South Wales, it still pulls a lot of books. Like, we have one of those big pavilion halls and it's just full of rows of books and boxes of books and everything. It's so great. There's actually so many that half the hall is sorted into alphabetical order and the other half is unsorted because they literally don't have enough time. It's a Rotary club, so there's volunteers and things like that. There are so many books. I wasn't sure whether I was going to go or not because, as you know, I'm trying not to buy as many books, and generally when I go to these things, I know particularly in the past I've actually gotten rid of a lot of the books that I bought from there because they're so cheap. It's $2 a book or $50 for a bag. In Australia, most paperback books are about $20 minimum. Hardbacks can be like up to $30 depending on what it is. So $2 is so cheap, like it's almost paying nothing for a book. And so I tend to just go a bit crazy when I'm there. I'll just pick up anything that vaguely jumps out at me or sounds interesting without, well, I didn't do any research today, but I definitely sort of looked and thought, am I really interested in this, or am I only picking it up because I've heard of it, etc. So I'm really happy with the purchases that I've made today, but I knew I was a bit apprehensive about going. It's actually going to be funny going to work on Monday because I was chatting to one of the girls that works there saying, oh, I don't really want to go, but then a part of me is like, yeah, but you could go and get some Agatha Christie books, but that's okay. I've definitely noticed a difference with the books that I've got this time as opposed to last time, which was in July last year. I'll leave a link to my video down below. Please be kind, it was my first video. I didn't edit out a few ums and things like that. In that July book haul, all of them I got from the book fair, and I got about 7, I think, or something like that, or 9. Something like that, and I got rid of the lower number. So if it was 7, I got rid of 3, or if it was 9, I got rid of 4. I can't really remember, but the main thing was I sort of just picked all these books because I vaguely heard about them, or someone I knew was reading them, but I wasn't really interested in them myself, and that led me to actually unhaul a lot of them in my book unhaul number 2, or no, it would have been number 2 because these are all books I haven't read before. But yes, I'm very happy with the ones that I got now. I'm so excited. I took an Instagram picture and I just want to keep looking at it because I'm so happy with these books. I'm not quite sure where to put them because a lot of them I did go a bit crazy and bought books in new series, which, as I said before, I'm trying not to do. But my main aim this year was just, as long as my to be read pile is 12 books less at the end of the year than what it was started, then I'll be fine. I did kind of make it hard for myself because I have all my to be read pile here, which are all the books that I can read. So I split my to be read pile up. All the books that I can read are part of series that I've already started or standalones over here, and this is what I was mainly trying to read down a lot. And there's a pile over there in a bookshelf which are all the series that I can't start, that I haven't started yet, and I don't want to, because if I really like the series, it encourages me to buy the next book really quickly. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put lots of these. I think I might give myself a free pass for some of the ones in series that I haven't started, and I'm just going to put them over there and not count them. Yeah, but we'll see how I go. I might think about it individually, and then I'm going to do some things while watching some shows, so that'll be good. Also, if I'm a bit dead or red or sweaty or something, it's because it's really hot right now. It's probably not that hot in the scheme of how hot things can be, but I don't really handle the heat very well, and where I've moved is inland to, it's inland, but it's the really hot inland. I've never lived near the ocean or anything like that to be cooler, but down I lived more down south towards the cooler state Victoria. I don't know whether that makes any difference. It was only by half an hour, but you can definitely notice the difference in the heat. And I think because of where this town is, it's geographically it's in a hot location, it's inland, and all these other things probably effect. There's no like ocean breeze or anything like that. We do have a lagoon breeze, which is good, but it's still so hot. So yeah, and I haven't like put any concealer on under my eyes or done my eyebrows because it's so hot that I don't want to do anything. So there's a possibility that I could film this and then scrap the footage if I'm not happy with it, but I really wanted to do it today because I went today and I had a great time just wandering through the shelves. So let's actually get started and stop purpling on. So the first book I picked up was Library of the Dead by Glenn Cooper. Is it? Do you reckon it was? Yeah, I think it was. I get confused because they are like, as I said, half of the haul is in alphabetical order, but the tables are sort of thick, like there's generally 2 boxes per table, and I know some people will walk up and look at those and then walk the other way, but I'll sort of walk up and like scan everything, and depending on sort of how busy the aisle will be, I might be on one side or the other, and I sort of when I jump across this, yeah, it's just a bit confusing, sort of in alphabetical order, but I'm not entirely sure if it's the right order. But anyways, so yes, first book was Library of the Dead by Glenn Cooper. This it sounds like it's going to be a bit of a mystery. I think there's it's a murder mystery. Yeah, so it sounds like a crime novel, and like the fact that it was the Library of the Dead that really brought its attention to me. But it sounds like he's in present day, but then finds out a secret that's in an underground library beneath an 18th century monastery. I haven't read a lot of crime fiction at all, so everything kind of feels new to me. So I'm really excited. It is part of a series, but I think because it's a crime novel, I'm just going to treat it as a standalone-ish. Like I'm going to put it in the pile that I can read and count it towards buying a book this year. But yeah, I'm quite excited about this, and I like that I don't know a lot about it because I think it's going to be fun and interesting. It is a big book that I normally would like to read, but hopefully if it's a really engaging crime novel, it won't matter. So I'm quite excited to do that and delve more into the crime genre. The next book I picked up is At Bertram's Hotel by Agatha Christie. I was so stoked when I saw this because the last time I went to the book fair in July, I actually picked up another Agatha Christie book that it looks exactly the same as this, except it's in green, and that was The Body in the Library. So yeah, I'm so stoked that I found another one, and I hope next time I go I'll find another one. It'll be like a little tradition or something. I don't know whether that'll happen because they're quite beautiful. And this one is in really good condition. The original one that I got, I think the front was good, but some of the words had peeled off, and so I'm so excited that this one is beautiful. And these don't really have on them descriptions as to what they're about, but I don't care because it's kind of going to be fun to not really know anything at all about the mystery and just go into it. I'm quite happy to have expanded my Agatha Christie collection, and it might actually get to the point where I wanted to start reading the first book and keep going like that in order, but because they're murder mysteries, I might be able to just pick up random ones. So I might have a bit of a Google and see whether like there's relationship developments within the detectives' lives to see whether I'll want to not be spoiled for that and read it in order. I then picked up Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, which is the first in the Infernal Devices series. I'm not sure whether I'll like this one or not. I definitely think I'll give it a go and hopefully I'll like it. But I read the first City of Bones, and although I liked the idea of the story, I didn't really like Cassandra's writing. I found it a bit dry. I do have City of Ashes to give this one another go and see how it is. But if not, I'll probably just scrap that series and then just try and read these ones. Because I've heard that there are people who have really not liked the Mortal Instruments series, which is the ones on the back, but they've really enjoyed the Infernal Devices, and there's only 3 of these. So I definitely think that I will keep this one and try and read it, and hopefully we'll really enjoy it. And apparently there is a love triangle in it that is done well, or that you like all the characters, and there's not just one douchebag or one person that either is trying too hard when they don't have a chance, or that you don't like or something. So that will be interesting to see how that goes. The next 2 books I picked up were The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and The Girl Who Played with Fire by Stieg Larsson. These are the first 2 in the Millennium Books series. You would have seen in a previous book haul that I'll link down below My gran actually gave me the last book that's been published recently, The Girl Who Takes an Eye for an Eye, and I wasn't ready to start these yet because obviously I didn't have the first, but I've got 1 and 2 now. I think I might again put these ones in my pile of books that I can start. Because I've got 2, I really doubt that I'm going to get to so many so quickly, since I don't generally tend to like to read a series in a row, and I'm hoping because they are crime novels I won't be like, oh, romance, let's see what's going to happen, as I am sometimes. And then the last book I picked up, I was so stoked to see it, so stoked. It's actually something that I marked on my Goodreads Want Read shelf, so it was quite interesting that it was actually there. There's a lot of the books are like mass market paperbacks. There's a lot of mystery, there's a lot of women's fiction and just commercial adult fiction there. There's not a lot of young adult books or fantasy ones. It was actually kind of funny because they had a sci-fi section and I went over there and it was mainly fantasy, which is fun because it's all volunteers that are doing this, that are working for like our local community in the Rotary Club. But I just laughed that none of the books there that I recognised were sci-fi. They were all fantasy. It was actually quite disappointing what was there because I'm wanting to start the Robin Hood series eventually. They're one of the ones I'm really keen to because dragons. But there was like books 2 and 3 in the Live Ship Traders trilogy. Not book 1. I would have been tempted, but they were also in massive old editions. So because the first one wasn't there and the 2 and the 3rd were not in editions, I actually didn't pick them up. But the last book I got was Stray by Rachel Vincent. Now I've only seen this book because of BookTube, but I love the cover. I just love it. It's urban fantasy. It probably won't win any awards for its literary merit, but I think it's gorgeous. I love the cover. When I read the back of it, I was a bit like, don't really know whether, like, it could go 2 ways. It could be like something that I really love. I feel like it's in the same kind of urban fantasy vein as The 7 Vampire Mysteries by Charlaine Harris. It could also be kind of trashy, but I'm hoping that I'll really enjoy it because I like urban fantasy and I like romance. It's about werecats and a clan, and so I'm just not going to read much about it and I'm going to go into it and just have fun. And I hope it's as awesome as the cover is. It is one in a series, so I think I'm going to pop it over there and I'm not going to start it yet, but I'm really happy that I picked it up because I love it. I love it because of the cover. I think it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And hopefully I will love what's inside of it when I eventually get to read it. Those are the 6 books that I bought at my local book fair. I had such a great time, as I said. I'm so happy with my purchases. It only cost me all up $15. They only charged me $12, but I had a $5 and a $10 note, so I said keep the change. But yeah, $15 for all 6 of these books is awesome. Like, I'm so happy, and I feel quite confident that I'm going to keep these for a while and actually probably read. There's a good chance that I'm going to read all of these. None of these are iffy choices that I'm kind of just picking because I've heard about them. I think I'm really going to enjoy or at least get to all of these, which is awesome because that is the main aim of the game. But thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!